Round 4 takes us to the Jeddah circuit that holds higher speeds and a more unique layout than other street tracks. With 3 different victors so far, will we see a 4th? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eliza, Frozen Toes, and we do have Jordan out here on the track tonight. He's going to be out there racing and perhaps being an in-race reporter. So maybe we'll be talking to him a little bit moving forward, but man, it's going to be a fun night. I think we're going to see maybe a safety car or 2. We'll have to find out, but we do have a driver out here on track with just over 16 minutes left in qualifying. And Gale Force, he's in our iRacing Cup Series League. He says, my goal is to just not look like an idiot in my first race. So great to have him out here in his debut race in the F1 series. Good luck to him for sure. And Maddie says, let's go J-Mac. David says, should be more exciting than the Japanese Grand Prix. It was a wild one. So far this season, I feel like every race, something wild has happened. And if anything can happen, it more than likely will. We'll see. It's going to be a very challenging track. I think it's one of my favorite tracks out there, so I'm excited to see what they can do. Right, we have Ferrari Nut on his lap. You can see him already kind of twitching there to try to fix that, but he is always really heavy on that braking, so I expect to see a little bit of brake smoke going out the rear there. We'll see what happens, but I saw him doing that in practice. He is still sick from last week. I am curious if that's going to affect how he is able to get around here tonight. It is a challenging track, but man, it is a fun one for sure. We have Sober David out on his outlap. Jacob X99, he is out there. Polish Hammer, Gale Force, who we just spoke with and about. Z46, he is also on his outlap. Jordan, do you have a second to talk to us?
Absolutely.
All right. So before you go out on track, what is the most challenging part of the track that you see out here?
Well, the beginning of the backside S's can be really tricky. Watching Ferrari not finish his lap, he'll be, I think, putting down the first lap of the session. But the very first sector is pretty tough. The first couple of corners, especially at the start, that first corner really, it promotes a lot of contact, a lot of places for brakes and wings, and then out of that corner that he just exited, if you're really hustling like he wasn't there on his limb lap, I imagine, it's really easy to get that curb on the left side and the rear end wants to swap ends on you. Here might be the most enjoyable part of the racetrack. Very fun to drive through this second half of, I guess, Sector 1 or it's the beginning of Sector 2. I don't have a track map in front of me. But then, yeah, you get down to the hairpin. Very, very fast corner. You want to hug that wall as close as you can. Swing out to the outside there. And then, yeah, it's just, this part's a lot of fun, but there's this one little section right here. Actually, when you flip the wall. But yeah, that is the very tough corner. And that's honestly probably the last difficult turn on the racetrack. The rest of it's pretty straightforward, sets itself up pretty well, but there's a couple of difficult turns. The thing you're going to have to watch out for is drivers coming off track. You have to carry a lot of speed. This track is full commitment, the full lap around, and so it's very, very, very easy to step over the line. And the race control, the game stewards have not been very lenient from what I've experienced in practice. So it's going to be a night to monitor penalties for sure.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate your insight on this, and good luck in qualifying. We'll let you go and let you get on out there. But man,
if we make a qualifying lap, I'm still not sure yet.
Oh, all right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
We might pull a Dion.
Ferrari Nut out there, he went on the board with a 129.3. Polish Hammer beats that and goes to a 128.7. And his teammate for Williams, Z46, will come out with a 128.5. Top in speed charts here in qualifying. Gale Force, his first race with us so far, a 130.6, very solid. Jacob, I was talking to him before the race started, before the practice started even, and he was saying, I really enjoy this track. So I know he was looking forward to it, and you can tell in his time. He's got a 129.7, so extremely close to Ferrari Nut out there, currently sitting in third. We have Sober David sitting P6 with a 131.555. Dion, Scarface, J-Mac, and Justin have yet to make a lap. We have over 11 minutes in qualifying before we go into the race for our formation lap. But I'm excited. You guys know what I say when these track times are so similar and they're qualifying. We're going to see a couple of groups out here, and it makes for an exciting race. We always have that front group, and we always have a very, very big midsection group out here for a second group, and then we have our third group that also does have a lot of racing out there. I think it's going to be one of those nights where we might see a few safety cars. We might see some damaged front wings out there. You can see how closed in these walls are. I think that's going to be an issue for some of these drivers. We've talked about it with Jordan, and I've talked about it with other drivers. Sector 1 in the beginning, around mid part of Sector 2, right where we see that that caution coming out. That's going to be an issue for some of these drivers. Jordan, have you decided if you were going out to qualify?
Not yet. I've just been kind of watching, honestly. It's been a very, very interesting qualifying session. It's kind of what we've seen all season long. There's a pair in first and second, and then another pair close to each other in third and fourth, and then we have a trio within 9/10 of each other, fifth through seventh. So the times are, you know, kind of what we have experienced all season long, and with the smaller field, it's gonna be interesting to see how the racing is. If we get a safety car, it's likely gonna be either from that very first lap piling into turn one, or from single car incident, somebody getting a curb and spinning it, or overstepping the race car and plowing down a wall. So it's gonna be I'm very curious to see how the racing is gonna be. And I'm going to be right in the middle of all of it, hopefully racing for some meaningful position by the end of it. But I think this is a good night to take it easy, because of course these guys are racing full time, some of them, you know, battling for championships and point standings. So this is just kind of one of the, you know, I was already planning on doing a couple of races anyway at the tracks I liked, and I liked this track. So I figured, you know, we had a small field, I'd jump out here, and we have a small field, so here I am, you know, playing, you know, just playing around and spoiling everything.
I don't know what happened to Z, but he is grayed out, so hopefully we can get him back in. But while we are in qualifying, let's go ahead. I do not have a graphic up. Points got sent to me super late, but driver standings, Ferrari Nut, he is in the lead in first, 62 points. Polish is just 3 points behind with 59. Z46 P3 with 56. Jacob X99 in fourth with 34 points, so quite a bit of a gap between third and fourth. Scarface, who has joined us for his first season, he's doing awesome out there, P5 with 28 points. Leaf Justin in 6 with 24. Sober David with 16, sitting P7. P8 is Bloomy, who has 8. He is unable to be here tonight, along with Hokey Fan in 9th, who has 6 points. Dion for Dub has 5 points, sitting P10. Wombat with 4 points. Drizzo Marty with 1 point, and Jacob Kerr, who we have not seen this week. Constructor standings, though, a pretty big gap. Williams, who has Polish Hammer and Z46 on their team, they have 115 points, sitting out there P1st. So these guys are doing absolutely amazing. Second is going to be Sauber, sitting P2 with 63. McLaren with 58 points, sitting third. Red Bull in fourth with 28. And running out the top 5 is going to be Haas with 16 points. So a little spread out with constructor standings, but man, a lot going on in those driver standings, which every race I feel like could shake things up quite a bit with how these guys are out here. But Ferrari Nut goes to the top of the board, 128.444. Again, these drivers are extremely close. I would say our top 5 drivers might see like a pretty big pack here. We'll see how much they can stay together. Leave Justin leading the 130s, Gale Force 130.6, Sober David 131.1. Dion and Jordan have yet to make a lap out here so far. Over 6 minutes for qualifying remain. We'll see if anyone can put out the lap times. I know I said this earlier, but Ferrari Nut still sick, unfortunately, but man, has not stopped him from putting down just an amazing lap out there. We'll see if he improves on that. Polish Hammer, he's got a 128.7. And I gotta say, we are going to be changing things a little bit. He just takes over the lead with a 128.3. So very, very close, but man, he takes over that lead. We are going to be changing from full traction to the highest you can be is medium traction. You can, of course, choose not to have any traction control on whatsoever. A few drivers do race that, but I know there's a couple of drivers out there that use full traction control and are a little nervous about the upcoming change, which I do believe, what is going to be the last race of that? I know Imola is going to be the first one. Miami should be the last race with full traction control. That will be something very interesting to see how these drivers handle it. I know Z, who has been using full traction control, he said tonight he's going on medium, and hopefully he can keep up. He said he likes his pace and he likes his tire wear. We'll see what he can do. Jordan, what is the odds that I always say we're going to see an incident, turn 1, lap 1, if it's going to be the place that we see anything? What do you think the odds are that we will see a crash going into turn 1?
Ooh, I think the odds are, again, it all depends on how aggressive everyone is from the start. And with a smaller field, you would assume it'd be a little tamer. You know, you have less cars going down in there anyway to begin with, and then I don't know, it's I think with
it's gonna be
fields,
scary.
There's a good chance that we don't have a crash, because you'd think everyone would take it easy, but man, we have some guys that like to mix it up and get real aggressive and take what they can get as soon as they can get it. So I don't know, we'll just have to see. If there's a crash, hopefully I'm not in it.
Fair enough, and I think everyone else feels that way.
I don't cause it.
Yeah, you know, last week we saw, I feel like every race we've seen absolute chaos at some point. So tonight, here at Saudi Arabia, I think it could be the same. We saw Ferrari Nut just make a huge dive, and Scarface just absolutely demolishes that wall. Looks like he does have some damage to that right front of his wing, missing a part of it. So that's definitely going to affect him out here in his qualifying lap. Probably going to have to come in and try to get that repaired. But I think we're going to run into that a few places here tonight, and by a few different drivers. Some penalties will happen, a lot of damage for some drivers. But man, some of the aggressiveness, I'm kind of curious if we're going to see that tonight. But with how these walls, they're just so unforgiving. I don't think we're going to see the amount of aggressiveness that we saw last week with some of these guys just really diving it in, taking over 4 to 5 spots heading into the first corner. I just don't think it is doable here. Polish, Maddie. I know, Maddie, we're missing you out here. I'm not you. You don't have to race it.
Out there on racetrack.
Are you though? Because I'm pretty sure I'd take everybody out.
Yeah, this is your favorite track. You'd be good here. Just kick the wings up a little bit. Car, drive it. we could putt around in the back and commentate on what we see in front of us.
There you go.
Now we lose sight of everything up front, but you know.
That's true. Look way out here out back. There's nothing around us. Had a schedule change and you're not even home right now. Maddie! Man, I feel like your nights are getting longer and longer. Absolutely crazy. Savage! I was just thinking about you. How are you? Glad to see you out here. Polish Hammer out here still in first, 128.3. Probably not too far behind. Really curious what happened to Z, but we'll see him in race. Scarface still P4, 29.3. Jacob, 29.4. These two on top of each other. I think we're going to see quite a few battles between the two. Jacob and Justin, both for the same team, a 129.4 and a 130.2. Gale Force looked so incredibly strong in practice, and he has a 130.6 out here. P7 currently, he is on his outlap. Hate it when the wall jumps out in front of you, she says to Z. Is that what happened? You know, it's a definite thing. I'm telling you, these walls come in on you. The wall turned in. Okay, there you go. On your outlap. Oh, man, brutal. Absolutely brutal. 35 seconds left on the clock for qualifying, and then another 2 minutes, I do believe, to get these drivers through their final lap. See where everyone places here, but Polish looking extremely strong. He said he's going to hold on to a full traction control as long as he can and go down to medium when he absolutely has to.
Ooh. Shun him, shun him.
All right, 4 drivers finished with their lap. Scarface sitting at P4. Sober David with a 131.1. Dion, no lap for him. Jordan, no lap for him. I need to call you J-Max so everyone's not confused, but yeah, he has not gone out yet. Savage says tornado siren's been going off all day for Severe Weather Awareness Day. I can tell you it's springtime and I'm tired of hearing the sirens here. I'm good if I never hear them for the remainder of the season. Polish Hammer in the purple gets that 128.337. Man, oh man, squeezing out every bit of time he can.
Laps. Those are some good laps.
Waiting to go chasing.
Hey.
Oh, here, look at this.
Sitter.
Yeah, new pole sitter, 128.037, saves it for the last second. I gotta say, that is very Ferrari-like. Likes to hold his cards close and bring it home last second. So it is gonna be very tight. I know Z has to be extremely bummed to not be able to be back out on track and trying to improve his lap time. So yeah. But Ferrari Nut will be out there on pole for Kick Sauber. Polish Hammer for Williams P2, his teammate Z46 out there P3. Red Bull Scarface 3D and P4. Jacob X99 for McLaren sitting P5 with his teammate Leaf Justin P6. Gale Force RB is out there in P7. Sober David for Haas out there in 8th. Dion for Dub for Ferrari, he's in 9th. And J Mac Attack out there rounding out the field, Mercedes.
Can't believe I'm helping Hoki's team get a point.
I'm sure he will appreciate you.
I highly doubt that.
Well, I wish you luck going into this race. Good luck in turn 1. Hopefully there's no chaos going on and everyone survives it. I think if you guys can survive that, I think you'll get a little spread out, and then it'll just be, hopefully, no one gets a wing clipped, hits a wall or anything like that, but I have a feeling we might see a few. All right, chat, let me know, who are you rooting for in this race? Who's gonna win? Let's go over the winners. I don't even think we've mentioned that so far. This season, 3 different winners. We've talked about that. Australia, it was Z46. Japan was Ferrari Nut. And last week at Bahrain, it was Polish Hammer. Are we going to see another new winner, or are we going to get a repeat tonight? That's the big question. If we're getting a new winner, you guys got to let me know. Who do you think it's going to be? Maddie will. She's not even out here. I'm sad. I'm sad. I was going to root Maddie on. But I get it. On standby if the opportunity presented itself to go chasing. That's not far from me. I'll take it. Chasing would be awesome. I just don't want to be in it. It's like scary movies. I like to watch them. I just don't want to be in it, you know? Drivers are getting their setups in. Everything that they need to do before we go to the formation lap here for 25 laps at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Polish, okay. Okay, so you think Polish is going to get be a repeat winner tonight? I'm sure he would love that. I know he's all about it. That would be back-to-back wins for Polish here. His 3rd season with us. Time flies, man. I'll tell you what. All right, drivers are out here. Going to be starting our formation lap. Let's get all of our overlays up. One thing I love about this track, I love how flowing it is. You have a part like right here, but man, you can really just send it through some of these curves. And it is just very satisfying, but it is so unforgiving. I mean, you move it just over a little too far and just massive amounts of damage to that car or wing. So that's something that these guys will have to watch. And the other thing I love, cameras. When you pan out and you get that scenery, especially under the lights, absolutely stunning. This track doesn't like me, and I'm glad I'm not out here tonight. What I found is that drivers either love this track or absolutely hate it. There's no in between. I was talking to Leaf Justin in practice, and he said after a couple laps, his car just slides everywhere. So that's something else we're going to have to look out for. I feel like some of these could be a little bit of a blind turn. If some chaos happens in front of you, that might be hard to see. But here we come around our final corner as we head to grid up here. B46 trying to make me car sick out here. Swerving back and forth, warming up those tires. Watching everyone line up, getting prepared. It always makes you wonder how nervous, what they're thinking as they get ready to head into turn 1 on lap 1. It's always a concern for me, even watching them, so I can't imagine as a driver. It's like our final driver is in his box, and here we go. Lights are getting ready to go out, and they are about out here at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Jacob with a drive-through penalty for jumping the start here. Such an unfortunate start as he looked so fast. Oh, man, absolutely brutal. Already our first penalty, but here we go. Ferrari Nut in the lead with Polish Hammer not too far behind. Z46, Williams' teammate, sitting P3. Scarface 4th. Jacob with that penalty drive-through. Sitting P5 is teammate from McLaren, Leaf Justin in 6th. Gale Force in 7th. Everyone makes it through turn 1, though. Still on the run, heading into Sector 2. Sober David 9th. J-Mac Attack out here in 10th. Going through Sector 2, we just got through a part of Sector 2 that is rather challenging for a lot of these drivers. So I want to take a look through the back part of the field, make sure everyone got through it fine, and it looks like they, in fact, did so. But man, single file line, no surprise here, as this track is not especially wide to make risky moves, so we'll see what they can do. But man, Polish Hammer all over the rear of Ferrari Nut 94, putting the pressure on him. And we know Ferrari Nut is not feeling well. How is he going to react to that? And he's going to react to that with a 1:34.1 fastest lap so far here, lap 2 of 25. Top 3 are starting to put a gap over the remainder of the field, and this next part is going to be Scarface, and he seems to be a man on it, his only island over here, so that is a good thing to see. Out back, you don't see anything, but I know he wants to make it up to these drivers. But being out here for the first time this season, he's doing a phenomenal job. Gale Force, he's leading this next pack, and it's going to be Leaf Justin right behind him. He's going to have a little bit of pressure, you can see out back. Justin not letting him get away, and I was watching Gale Force in practice, and I loved his lines that he was taking. Just incredibly snug. You have to use every piece of that track to make sure that you get that momentum coming out of the next corner, and you can see him right here, just going through that S, having a nice run. Ferrari Nut loses the lead. It's going to be Polish Hammer that goes and takes over. Ferrari Nut moves to second. Z46 getting ready to pounce on any opportunity that he can to take over second, and gets the fastest lap at a 1:31.9. Side by side for our lead. Ferrari Nut on the inside. Z46, he's P2. These guys just switching like musical cars out here. Ferrari Nut back in the lead. Z46 in second. Polish Hammer directly behind. A lot of switching going on. Let's talk about tires here. We have top 4 drivers on those medium tire compound. Gale Force, risky move out here with this soft, so I'm kind of curious how long he's going to be able to last on that. Along with our in-race reporter, Jay McAttack, out here on softs.
That was by accident. I was going to start on the hards and go to the softs, and bad things happen.
Rip.
Me versus menus, the greatest rivalry of 2025.
All right, not that I want to take up too much brain power, because I know this is can be tricky to talk, but a strategy. What are you going to do now?
Well, for some reason it has me on a 2-stop, so I'm just going to go well past whenever my crew chief starts yelling at me to pit. And once he's thoroughly mad, I'm going to put some hards on and try to go all the way to the end.
All right, well, there you have it. I've heard that a few times where drivers really didn't want the tire that they came out with, but here they are, and nothing you can do about it now, so got to make the best out of a sticky situation. But here we go, 2 wide for the lead. Once again, Ferrari Nut Z46. Z gets a 3-second time penalty. We've seen him plagued with penalties in these races. It is too early to be getting these penalties. Unfortunately, I don't think it will be the last one. Let's take a look as Jacob has moved to the back. He has gone in to serve his penalty. He comes out P10, 2.4 behind Dion. Top 3 drivers really putting a huge gap over fourth, almost a 5-second gap. They are absolutely on some heater laps. Want to go on board with Scarface. It looks like he is increasing that gap over Gale Force at 1.7. I do believe before it was a 1.2, so that gap is increasing a little bit. Gale Force still has his eyes on Scarface. He can see him. Now he just needs to chase that rabbit. Find a lot of this out here. Take a look at that scenery. Man, absolutely stunning. But yeah, consistency is key here. You have to make sure that you are getting everything out of these laps that you can. Ferrari not going to go down. Z46 still in the lead here, but he does have a penalty. Gale Force. Leaf Justin has made an overtake over Gale Force. Justin moves up to 5th. Gale Force down to 6th. Hey, for you know what? For his first debut out here, he's doing a great job, and I will not be surprised if I see him making some more moves. Sober David having a great run so far. P7. You know, what's very interesting about David, too, is that I see him have some very interesting strategies. He's currently on the medium tire compound, so seems to be he's on the same strategy as a lot of other drivers. Only 2 on the hard tires, Justin and Dion, and 2 on the soft, so most of the field is going to be on those mediums. Penalty. Z46, the only one out there currently with the penalty. Jacob did have to serve his, and he has moved up to 9th since that has happened. About 4.9 seconds beyond J-Mac. Behind J-Mac, I should say. Still switching for these top 3 drivers. You cannot leave these guys at all. Side by side once again for the lead, and teammate is helping out the opposite team here. Farina goes to the lead. Z46 second. Polish Hammer in 3rd. Williams helping out that Ferrari nut. Really funny to see that go on here. Hoping for a top 5 at least for David tonight. It's coming. I would love to see it. I would absolutely love to see it.
As long as I finish 4th or better, that's fine.
Well,
I guess he could finish 4. I could finish 5th, and he could finish ahead of me.
Okay.
Never mind. Simple math.
That's allowed. Okay. That was J-Mac talking, and he sits P8 currently right behind Sober David. You can see it right here. He's got his eyes set on David. We'll see if he's able to make that pass coming up here shortly. David, a top 5, and Maddie says J-Mac podium. I don't know if David's gonna like that, Maddie.
That ain't happening tonight.
Z46 has fallen back a little bit. Not sure what exactly has happened, but Polish still on the heels of Ferrari Nut. It is only these 2 in the battle for the lead currently, but Ferrari Nut, a little bit of a different race than what we've seen previously from him. In the first 3 races, we saw a treacherous beginning for him and a roller coaster of a ride. He started out front, got in a wreck, had to go all the way to the back and try to race his way back up. So I'm kind of curious, will it be any different here? I'll have to see. Lap 7 of 25. Take a look on board Polish Hammer as he sits behind Ferrari Nut. It's fine, Maddie says. Jordan has made his way past Sober David. I swear you look away and something is always going on.
Let me tell you, Frozen, it was the best overtake of the entire race. I am not biased whatsoever.
All right. Fair enough. Now you got to catch up to Gale Force. He's 6.3 ahead, sir. No pressure. Silent on that one.
Oh. Right, trying to make corners without crashing.
All right, back on board with Ferrari Nut. Polish Hammer trying to go for that lead once again. Tries to take a look on the outside. Unable to do so. Takes a look on the inside. doesn't have enough momentum. Meanwhile, Z46 has lost a little bit more time. Fastest lap, Polish Hammer, 131.7. Polish goes to the lead with a nose out. Ferrari underneath takes back the lead. These guys just switching back and forth. Absolutely incredible. No surprise. We've seen it race after race here for the lead, just start to finish. Just insane. Z46 has closed down a few tenths out there. I know he really wants to be back up there, and with that 3-second time penalty, he's got to make sure that he keeps Scarface beyond 3 seconds behind, and currently Scarface is 9.3. He is safe, but it is only lap 8 of 25. We do have hopefully a green flag stop out here for these drivers. No safety cars, knock on wood. I don't want to jinx them, but they are looking really solid out here. Talking to these drivers, they said, you know, I'm expecting the full amount of safety cars that are allowed in a race. I said, no, that's not allowed. We'll see if I can win and not have any. Battle brewing up for Scarface and Justin. Take a look at this. Justin making up some good time out here. Past Gale Force earlier. Going after Scarface now. Going on the inside around the bend here. Great pass. Justin moves up to 4th, Scarface to 5th, and they're on the run. Gale not too far behind. Take a look at him right here. He still has his eyes set on these guys. A very, very solid run for his debut so far. Biggest thing I mentioned earlier, consistency. You can be fast all night long, but if you do not have the consistency, if you nick a wall, I don't care what it is. Anything can happen in these cars, especially on this track. Just keep it on track. Jacob got a penalty at the start of the race for jumping the flag, the lights. He moves to the back in 10th, and since then he has brought up to 7th place. Does have Sober David not too far behind, just over half a second. Very, very close.
2 for 1 on the front straight, frozen. Jacob
all right. Well, you heard it there. Jacob making those 2 passes. I don't know if you have a second, but how are those tires feeling, Jordan?
They're feeling like they want to die, but you know, they're not that terrible. I don't feel that bad, so I'm gonna go a little bit longer until they just feel really bad. But they definitely crossed over because David was able to get by me pretty quickly, and he's pulled away from me. But Jacob's been making some really good time since there. If he has he can compete for a good spot if he could get a safety car. As long as he isn't the safety car.
D46, he has gone in for his pit stop, makes a swift move over Gale Force, goes up to P5. Seems like a relatively quick stop there, but considering he was losing our top drivers, the top 2, he comes out on those hard tire compounds, and I suspect that he will go out in the remainder of this race on this this tire. Polish Hammer 0.5 behind our leader Ferrari Nut 94. Coming around the final corner of Sector 3, heading up to lap 11 of 25, and Ferrari Nut really on top of those brakes, always seeing that smoke flying out, and Polish Hammer just closes that gap heading into the corner, and these two both onto pit road. Justin usually likes to push the limits on those tires, and he does stay out. Scarface, he makes his way in. Z has already made a pit stop here. Justin goes to the lead with everyone else going into pit. Couple of drivers coming out. Jacob, we'll see who has pit, who has not. 4 drivers so far have made a pit stop. Sober David still on his still out here. Sitting P6, Jordan. J-Mac Attack sitting in 7th. Scarface, he has pit, sitting 8th. Gale Force 9th with a pit stop. And Dion 4 Dub has yet to pit. He's out here 10th.
Oh! Might get a safety car here, Frozen. A lot of damage for David.
Ooh, missing the entire wing for him. Dion, 3-second time penalty. Sober David definitely got to go in and repair that. I guarantee he cannot steer with that.
Yeah, not sure what happened if he got the curb and lost control. I imagine that's what happened, but just came around the corner and he was up against the wall.
Yeah, with no steering here, he takes another hit to the wall. Pit lane cannot come soon enough for him. Unfortunately, he's only in the latter part of Sector 2, heading into Sector 3. He's got to hold on to this car. Justin's still out in the lead, but he's got Polish Hammer 0.5 behind and Ferrari Nut on the end of that train right there. And you can see Z46. He made an earlier pit stop than the remainder of the field. He is right there, just a 1.5 seconds behind. Sober David. Does he go in? I can't imagine. There's no way he stays out. Here he goes. Making his way on in. Dion stays out. Let's take a look at those tires. Top 5 drivers on the hard. Gale Force on the medium. Jacob, Dion hards. J-Mac medium along with Sober David.
Yeah, I figured how long I made the softs last. I could do something like that with mediums, but we'll find out. If I get a warning. I'm 1 warning away from a penalty, by the way, in case you're curious.
Rip. Z46, another penalty. His night just keeps going downhill with these penalties. 6 seconds of penalties. Dion 4 Dub, 3 seconds for him. Take a look at our leaders. Man, just absolutely stacked here. Ferrari Nut. He's got Polish Hammer right on the heels. Williams' teammate, Z46, directly on his teammate's heels. These guys trying to go 3 wide, and they're going to back it off. Go 2 wide. Leaf Justin, meanwhile, sitting P4. 2 wide for P2. Everything is so incredibly close. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can cover him with a blanket. Going through the S's right here in Sector 1. Such a fun part of the track, just flowing corners. Oh, Polish Hammer doesn't get through that corner really well, and he loses a lot of time. Ferrari Nut has to check it up. Leaf Justin with a 3-second time penalty as he sits P4. A long race to try to nail every last corner out here. Sector 2 and 3 can be, Sector 1 and 2 can be rather difficult out here. And it's starting to show with these drivers, the penalties starting to stack up. Mistakes are starting to be made. Sober David, he is out here fixed wings. Unfortunately, about 15 seconds behind J-Mac Attack. Battle for the lead has not calmed down whatsoever. These drivers just on top of each other. Williams almost side by side with Z. Taking a look on the inside. They are side by side right here. No. He backs it off. Man, almost gets his front wing taken out by his teammate with this battling. These guys are crazy. D46, he has to hope that these two drivers around him somehow get a penalty. I mean, I guarantee they have a couple of warnings. But man, oh man, something has to give for Z. Polish Hammer, who we heard before the race started, said, "I'm using full traction control as much as I can before it goes off, and you only can use medium or none." So he is on the full traction control, said he's just faster with the full on. A couple of corners ago, it looked like he was about to hit that wall. Swings it out and just narrowly misses it. You can see Ferrari Nut, huge run as he's going to take it to the inside. You can see his nose out there, unable to make it happen. But man, these guys making me nervous with how close they are getting to that wall. Ferrari Nut to the inside. Once again, can he complete it this time around? Sector 1 just passed the start-finish line into the first corner, and Ferrari Nut is in the lead. He gets it done with the overtake. I do not know how these drivers keep it so clean on a street circuit like this with how many curves there are. I could not do it. I would be hitting into everything. Ping pong ball. That would be me. Ferrari Nut has taken over that lead. Polish Hammer second, Z46 third. Justin in fourth, Scarface fifth, 16 seconds behind Justin. Gale Force 3.7 behind, sitting P6. Jacob with an unfortunate start at a track I know he said he loves, so I'm heartbroken for him. He sits 7th. J-Mac Attack with an unfortunate start on soft tires, but I know he did not want that to be the case. Sits P8. And I will say this is his first time on this game. First night he has ran. Dion Ford Dub in 9th and Sober David in 10th after some earlier damage where he lost his entire front wing. Maddie says I would have been in the wall by now. Lap 1, turn 1. That would have been me. Almost some contact between our front two drivers that look like their tires were just entangled out there. Ferrari Nut still in that lead. Polish Hammer in second. Side by side, Z46 with a huge power move over his teammate, Polish Hammer. I don't know if something happened to Polish, but he is falling back quickly. Trying to get a view of that front wing, see if there is damage. It looks like he is fine with that. The rear wing looks just fine. Z46, though, putting a little gap between him and his teammate, about a half a second. Ferrari Nut sitting P first. Maybe this is Ferrari's race to get a second win in the season. He got one at Japan for round 2. Evan, how are you out there? Hope you're doing well. We miss you out here too. You could be out here losing a wing with us.
I believe Dion finally made his first pit stop of the race, I think.
Let's have a look. 0 laps, he most certainly did. Took medium tires. Freshest tires out there. The next will be J-Max, Sober David, and Jacob on 4-lap-old tires. Everyone on hards or mediums. 3 drivers on mediums. The remainder on hard tire compound. Take a look at the penalties here. Z46, 6 seconds. Justin, who just got passed by Scarface, he's got 3 seconds in penalties. He loses another spot. What's going on here? 2 spots. He's back up. 3-second though in time penalty. Dion Ford dub. 3-second in time penalty. Biggest mover of the day so far is going to be J-Mac Attack. 2 positions gained. Ferrari Net, Polish Hammer, Z46, Scarface. They are exactly where they started the race. Justin has moved up a spot. Gale Force up a spot. Jacob down 2, unfortunately. J-Mac up 2. Sober David down 1. And Dion has lost 1 spot. Evan says, doing good, and I may be losing a lot of wings there. I love this track. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful track. And how can you not love this track? Oh, another penalty. Gale Force, 3-second time penalty.
That's huge. The race for 6th with how close Jacob is.
Absolutely. He's within the 3 seconds. Justin directly in front of him. He has to find a way to keep Jacob outside of that 3-second gap. And he's just at 3 seconds. Lap 18 of 25. It can absolutely change at any moment. We know Jacob has the speed. It's just an unfortunate circumstance jumping the start. He had to go in, do a drive-through. And he's just been clawing his way up, trying to get through this field. Top 4 drivers still have not moved as far as where they started to where they are now. Ferrari not in the lead. Polish Hammer second. Z46 third. And they are extremely close. All 3 drivers within a second. I don't think this could get any closer. It's deceiving, looks pretty, but it's very difficult. It is absolutely gorgeous. 1, 2, 3. These guys going side by side for the lead. Polish Hammer to the front. Takes over the lead. Ferrari Nut in second. Z46 in third. Ferrari Nut is in a Williams sandwich. Ferrari Nut hard into the wall. Absolutely devastating. He is out of the session. That will bring out our first safety car of the night. Lap 18 of 25. He got hooked. Straight into the wall. No coming back from this. That's going to change things.
Absolutely.
All right, Jordan, what do you think strategy-wise? What are these guys going to do?
I think everyone's going to come in and put some soft tires on. I feel like that's going to be the play. Some might do mediums. I think that's plenty short enough to try for softs, but we'll see.
McLaren teammates in pit lane currently coming out. Let's see what tire they came out with. Softs. J-Mac has called it. J-Mac coming out with soft tires. Polish Hammer, Z46 have yet to go in. Just another devastating race for Ferrari Nut. He has been able to climb his way up through the field in the previous races, but tonight there's just no coming back from it. You saw how hard that hook was. Just almost a U-turn. Just straight 90 degrees into that wall.
Now, what you were talking about earlier in the pre-race, that turn 1 is going to be a real hot spot for action now that we're going to have a quick sprint to the finish here.
Absolutely. I was just about to say that. It's round 2 for a death match in turn 1. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, team death match or some other euphemisms that we have used that are not as family friendly, but yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Polish Hammer coming out, goes on the mediums. I'm a little surprised here. Z46 on softs. I know in practice he ran a few laps on the softs, was not excited about how it felt. Scarface coming out on softs. Justin, softs. Talked about him earlier. Gale Force, softs. Jacob, McLaren, he's out there on mediums. Remainder of our drivers. Only 2 drivers on the mediums. Everyone else, softs. We're going to see probably at least 2. I don't want to say they're going to be crazy enough to take it 3 wide in the first corner, but, you know, from what I've seen the last few races, I kind of wouldn't be surprised.
It'll be kind of hard for us to get to 3 wide. I mean,
I would think.
The track is barely wide enough for it.
Right.
It'll all depend on how this restart goes off. I mean, we saw what happened at Suzuka. The restart got really bogged down, and that allowed it to be almost 4 wide going into turn 1. So this track, not as much room as Suzuka in turn 1. So yeah, that's wouldn't be ideal.
I think that's pushing it.
It'd be fun for you and the viewers.
I think if we saw someone try to take it 3 wide, I would think that they would probably back out of it.
That would take discretion, Frozen. And
well, you know, that's true.
What SnB drivers have discretion?
Interesting strategies, Maddie says. Our leader on the medium tire compound. He's gonna be set okay for, you know, several laps here, but man, I don't know that he's gonna have the speed to hold on to this lead. He may drag them back in, you know, coming to the closing laps, but man, we're on lap 20 out of 25. I'm not liking what I'm seeing from Polish doing the mediums. He does have the speed, though, naturally. It could work out. We'll see. Jacob? Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Every time I criticize somebody's option for strategy, it tends to work out for them, and I tend to be hilariously wrong, so I'm not going to say anything, but I think there's a little enough time that the softs are not going to hurt you at all.
Yeah, I mean, if we go back green at 22 out of 25, he's just got to make sure he's got the speed. Z can make that pass earlier on. He can absolutely just concentrate on those laps, getting the fastest out there. He's got the penalties, though. That's the thing. Polish does not. So he's got a tough road ahead. Z's got 6 seconds. Man, that is brutal. He's got nothing to lose. Z gonna have to absolutely go for it out here early on.
Yeah, with most everybody on similar strategy, this track is fast, and that makes it very aero sensitive, very aero tight. So if you want to get track position, you want to get clean air just as quickly as you possibly can.
Heard it right there. We'll see what these guys do, but I have a feeling Williams' teammates or not, Z is just going to absolutely go for it. And there's no way he's going to put 6 seconds over Polish unless something drastic happens. And, you know, I've said it once, I'll say it again. Whenever you think something is crazy and it may not happen, it usually has in this season. We go around this corner. I have not seen a message saying that their safety car is coming in, so
nope, it'll be next lap, I imagine. So
man,
we will come in with a 3-lap shootout.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. I would have gotten Ferrari not in here, but you know, I tried to talk to him in practice, and he was not speaking. I know he is just feeling so bad, and I'm sure, knowing last week how he sounded, he probably has no voice, so I didn't want to bug him. All right, guys. What's your prediction? Polish Hammer gonna hold out the lead, get the win tonight? Will it be Z? Will Scarface be a first-time winner? Justin, Gale, Jacob. I mean, Jacob has a ton of speed. He's out here in the Hornet's nest, though, so that's going to be very, very difficult.
Yeah, I think Jacob will be a fun one to watch here. And Gale Force also, considering he's sort of an unknown, you know, We see him on Mondays, but we haven't seen him on a Thursday yet. Don't know
That's
how
true.
he's going to race in these cars, how he's going to treat his fellow man out there. If he's aggressive, then he can move forward. If he's aggressive and clean, he can really move forward. If he's aggressive and dirty, well, it could be very interesting.
We'll find out, but
from it.
Well, there you go. From what I know about Gale, he is actually very, very clean. So, let's see, it's hard to be clean and aggressive on a restart like this. You really have to, you know, be on that line. You want to make up a lot of moves. Very curious what our leader is thinking currently. Safety car in this lap. About time. I've been waiting. I'm so nervous, you guys. Coming around to the final corner before we go back to green. It's going to be on Polish Hammer. He's got his Williams teammate directly behind him. Teammates are not, you know, the race is on for this win. You can see these drivers getting ready just all the way up on the other's bumper.
I forgot where I was on the racetrack.
Polish really taking some strategy in that restart there and just holds off as long as he can. Unfortunately, that's going to make his teammate guess and get him out to the front. Z46 goes to the front. Polish in second. Scarface third. Jacob, Justin, McLaren teammates fourth and fifth. Gale Force in sixth. J-Mac Attack in seventh. Sober David eighth. Dion ninth. We'll see what happens. Safety car is out. Does this say safety? Okay, safety car out?
No, it's. Okay. I think it's too late in the race.
Okay. Penalty for Polish Hammer. That is good news for Scarface, who has yet to get a podium in his first season in SnB F1 series. I know he would love it, but look behind him. Jacob, not too far behind. Can he hold on to it? You can see got really close to that wall, had to feather the throttle there. Z46, I just don't see how a win tonight is going to happen with that penalty, but with Polish, he's got a penalty also. So Z has to keep him outside of 3 seconds. Not going to happen just yet. Jacob and a group of 3 cars right here. Justin giving a little bit of a push to Jacob out there. Gale Force, you can see him not too far behind, sitting P6, Z46. You can tell this is a man on a mission, gets the fastest lap. Gale really pushing the boundaries on speed, going through these corners here, trying to make up some time. Unfortunately, well, it looks like he made up a little time. I'm not quite sure. We'll see as he's going through here. 0.6, so he's gained a 10th. 24 of 25. Let's see what these guys can do. Polish Hammer might end up with a win if Z can't put him at least 3 seconds behind Scarface. Going out, trying to get this podium tonight. Jacob, though, saying, not just yet. I'm right behind you, and I'm bringing some people. Gale Force under attack by J-Mac Attack. It looks like he is gaining on P6 currently. Here we come up to the final lap here. Z46 going to lead the way coming into the final corner. Our final lap getting ready to take place here. He has crossed that line, and yet another heater, 130.0. Fastest lap of the session. You know he feels the pressure. Unfortunately, it is just not going to be enough. Polish Hammer, he can just take it easy, stay right behind his teammate and grab the win. You know Z has to be frustrated. He is absolutely flying, as Maddie has said. Getting ready to head into Sector 2. Scarface. Jacob side by side for P3. Jacob takes it over. Scarface answers back and makes the pass once again. McLaren teammates just right on top of each other. Scarface gonna have to defend his position, but can he do so? Jacob underneath, and he's on the outside. Makes the pass. He goes to P3. Scarface 4th. Justin in 5th. Let's go back up to our teammates coming around the final corner. Where has the time gone with this race? Polish Hammer takes over the lead. He will win as long as he can hold on to it. Here he goes down the front stretch. He is going to be your winner here at Saudi Arabia. Huge congratulations to Polish on his 2nd win of the season. Back-to-back wins, Bahrain, and tonight here at Saudi Arabia, Scarface. And wow, Scarface in 2nd. What happened to Z? Scarface gonna sit on that podium.
Yeah, Scarface and the 2 McLarens came across the line in an absolute wad. That was a wild race to watch there in the final little bit.
Driver of the day, Polish Hammer. We're going to see Polish Hammer celebrating a victory tonight. Fantastic job for our driver of the day. Huge night for a few of these drivers. Just wild race coming up to the finish here with the final 3 laps. I may have let J-Mac by, so he had a shot at being close enough to jump the McLaren with the penalty. Gale, race! You did great on your debut. You did awesome. Polish Hammer 1st, Scarface 2nd, Jacob 3rd. Let's get these guys in here. What a fantastic race. I have to know what happened to Z, though. Nope, don't invite. I don't know why it won't let me invite certain people.
You need Polish, Scarface, and Jacob. I just saw Jacob pop in.
Yeah, it just says, for Polish, it says invite to game. It will not let him in.
Huh,
It's sad.
That's very sad.
All right. Since we have you, Mr. Jacob, what a race tonight. We had a penalty at the very start for jumping the start here. And we saw you just climb back through the field and finish the race on podium. Take us through what exactly happened and how'd you made it back up?
I mean, a false start's a false start, but I didn't want to get out of the pedal. I just was so ready, and it felt like we were sitting there forever. So I honestly just could not believe that happened. But to get the safety car when we did bailed me out. I probably was looking at 6th if we didn't get that. So a messed up restart helped me get into turn 1 and fight for it, thankfully. And the medium tire against the softs was honestly fine. So really happy to get 3rd.
Yeah, what an awesome finish. And, I was just so upset for you with how that started. But, man, you made your way through. You obviously had the speed. I know you like this track, so it's great to see you out here on podium. What was your funnest battle of the night?
Battling Scar at the end was actually tough. I didn't want to be behind him I didn't want to be ahead when we did the final DRS. And since he got that run on me, I feel like that's probably what did it. But for 20 laps, I was just driving frustrated. So the battle was to try to catch the car ahead, and I even slipped up a couple times. So there really was no battle at all until we got to bunch up. And restarting with 3 to go, I didn't feel good with medium tires at 6th. So honestly, awesome finish. A botched restart, but I benefited, so I'll take that.
Absolutely. You did a great job out there, had a ton of speed, and I figured you'd make up a few spots, but man, to get back there on podium after that start, great night to finish.
Thanks. It was fun.
All right, J Mac, you want to give our winner an interview here?
Our winner. I didn't get a
Ah.
great view of what battles they were in all
Oh
night,
well.
but I do know that Polish was able to win the race. Talk about your night. It sounded like it was a heated battle the entire evening, and then talk about what you saw of the incident that led to the safety car, and that what you experienced in that final restart that ultimately led to you coming home the victor tonight.
Well, for an entire lap under safety car, I had Ferrari scolding me like I was his child over uh, wrecking him on the front straightaway. I moved maybe a centimeter on the front straightaway, not enough for him to react the way he did. I'm not saying that it was squeaky clean on my part. I'm not saying I was not at fault, but he seems to think he's a lot clearer than he actually is. He was throwing it into corners literally all night long, pushed me off the track multiple times, and it is what it is. It was a good race. I always enjoy battling him and Z, everyone else. But yeah.
We'll talk about that battle with Z there at the end. He had the penalty that kind of allowed you to maybe be a little more conservative behind him than you would initially be. Were you able? I don't even know if you were able to actually pass him there at the end, or if you hung behind him. But what was the strategy there, especially with a hungry field behind you on that restart?
Once I got my penalty, I passed him like right at the last second because
Aha!
he wanted a little bit of slipstream to try and pull 6 seconds on the rest of the field, but he couldn't. And I needed to pull 3 seconds on Jacob and Scar too. So I was just kind of sitting behind him, using his DRS to try and get that gap. And eventually I did. And once I did, I went by him and tried to get him his gap, but this wasn't enough time, unfortunately.
Well, that is Polish Hammer, our winner tonight for the third time this season, second time.
Second, yeah,
Second
back to
time.
back.
Yeah, second time. So congrats to him, and back to you, Frozen.
Scarface brings it home. P2, first time this season, and it is his first season with us in the F1 series. Take us through your race, how it went, and how you secured that spot.
Yeah, this was one of the two tracks where I never thought I would get a podium at, but I debated not even qualifying. That's how much confidence I had in this track. By lap 4 or 5, I already had 2 warnings, so
Wow.
figured just take it easy and nice battle with Justin there. Yeah, I was pretty much just riding around until the safety car came out, and uh,
As a safety car comes out, what's your strategy? What's your mind thinking when you're trying to get ready for that restart?
just try to keep up with them because I know they had time penalties, so uh, yeah, I was just trying to find a balance between being conservative and trying to push. Those last couple laps, I just went for it, and I guess it worked out.
I guess it did. With Miami next week, how do you feel about that?
Much better than this track. I ran a couple laps there, but yeah, it definitely feels much better than this place.
All right. Well, great job out there tonight. Getting in the booth is always a great thing to do for these drivers. You had a heck of a race making your way through and securing that P2 finish. So great job to you. Polish, awesome win. And Jacob, great to see you back out here. Jacob, I got to ask, how do you feel about Miami? Oh, Jacob might have left. All right. Well, next week we are headed to Miami. It's going to be a fun one. We'll see how the drivers like it. I know tonight was either a love or hate relationship with Saudi Arabia, but man, was it a fun one. I thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Z, man, you had the speed. I'm telling you, that's crazy. But yeah, Hate to see it happen, but a great wild race for these guys tonight. We will see you next week, Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You guys take it easy. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.